Yeah, I have to make sure I keep it for a very long time. That's my main goal. I always dreamt of fighting in Max Muay Thai. Like, I'm not joking. I was like literally manifesting that one day, I could fight in Max Muay Thai. We have non-venomous and venomous snakes. So we have to identify the snake first thing, because we just cannot go grab the snake. We need to know if it is venomous, non-venomous.
Yeah, first of all, congratulations on being the first ever WBC Muay-Thai India champion. So before we get into the whole question, so how do you feel about that?
Feel it's an honor to have a belt. I've been training my ass off. Like, it's been like I've been training on the lockdown tour, and I've fought in Thailand, and I just wanted to make sure I'm the best. And there's so much for me to prove here. Make sure the Muay Thai scene in India can be hyped. It can be brought into our people too, because as Muay Thai in Thailand, what I've seen, what I've experienced is amazing and insane. There's so much more to experience in the fight game. I believe going out, because I got the chance to travel. I really wanted to travel, and I never thought I would be traveling and fighting, and meeting new people. So much knowledge coming in. It's a journey basically.
Where did it all start for you? Like, how was your childhood like? Like, were you interested in combat sport from a small age itself?
Small age, as in my dad is into the film industry. He's a Kannada film actor and an art director. So before, like, he was into when I was young, he used to show me a lot of fight and movies, action movies. To be the main guys: Bruce Lee, Jet Li, Jackie Chan. Tony Jaa came up a little more earlier, like later on, but these guys were like uh, main guys which introduced martial arts in a very different way. So my dad, gave me a way to, it became like an imprint to me. I wanted to learn. It was so fascinating, but I never thought I would really fight, because my only thing, my concentration was into wildlife. I really wanted to do something in paleontology. Paleontology is basically, what is that? Fossil research on dinosaurs, ancient fossils. So I was really into that, and I basically got onto wildlife, going exploring, handling snakes, because I was very much fascinated, and I could connect with these animals so well that not much people are there who get like really connect to the nature, because a lot of things happen, and people really are not connected to the nature. So but I had a gift where I could connect, be with them, understand them in a way that not normal people could understand.
That was one of our questions, like regarding you catching snake. Like, there are so many photos and videos of you going out there and catching snakes. So, how does the people around you react to that? And like, how do they see this your love for snakes and everything?
Or whenever I'm rescuing snakes, it's a task too, because when it's a we have non-venomous and venomous snakes, so we have to identify the snake first thing, because we just cannot go grab the snake. We need to know if it is venomous, non-venomous. So people are scared of all snakes. They don't know how to identify, so they're pretty much scared. And I've seen where people literally think snakes are going to chase them. Whenever I rescue, it's just like I just handle it very well, and make sure that it's cleared off from the scene.
You mentioned about being discovering combat sports like through films and everything. So, when did you actually start training in any type of discipline?
Training, I started, I think, when I was I changed like 15 schools in my lifetime, because it was very hard for me to go with the normal education system. But yeah, in one of, I think, yeah, B&M school in Bangalore. So there used to be karate and kung fu classes going on. So that was a way that put me into the martial arts, really feel the martial arts and do something, because they used to make us do a lot of stands, and a lot of horse style, tiger style movements, breaking tiles and stuff like that. So that was the beginning. Then I really wanted to do something like full contact, like boxing or something, but I didn't find at that particular time. Then I guess after that, when I was in my ninth grade, my friend named Shreyans Bandari, so he's my junior in Inside Academy School. So he just told me that there's a gym here in Jayanagar. It was called Rock Solid Studio. So we both joined in there, and it started off like that. So from there, I got introduced into kickboxing and Muay Thai. Basically, that was
So,
the main place where I started off.
okay, so that's where you actually started Muay Thai, fan.
Yes, basic Muay Thai, like the introduction to it was started off there. But yeah, then later on it's just like leveled up. Then we, got to know the real deal of what Muay Thai really is.
So when did your first fight happen? Like, did it happen during your time there, or did it happen later on?
It had the very first fight happened in I think Kantirva Stadium in Bangalore. So there I fought my first junior nationals. I think I fought against a Telangana guy. So yeah, that was my very first time fighting. It was an amateur. This one, I did have a little overconfidence. Oh, I'm gonna smash this shit out of this guy and stuff like that. But when I got into the ring, it was a different feel to it. Like you if you're not trained and you go into the ring and if you go like it just breaks you. You don't know what to do. The very first fight, but still, it happened like 3 rounds, and I lost that fight. But that fight changed my whole life and my focus to what I really want.
So when you go into something like this, combat sports in general, you don't usually get the support of your family. So was your family very supportive of this, or how did they react?
To be frank, my family is the reason I'm here. My mom and dad, because they were pretty much open to whatever I did. Because my mom and dad are really artistic people. Like they're into art. They're pretty open-minded to new ideas, new way of learning. Because I couldn't really go around with the normal way of education, so they were pretty open to let me know, like other kind. I've done a lot of things. I've done guitar, drums, but I couldn't really latch onto a thing. But this combat sport, when I said I really want to go for like professional, they just said, okay, fine, go for it, but you make sure you do something, like you make sure you are into it and you know what you're doing. So
So
they were pretty. That's the reason I'm here.
okay, so from competing in the district level tournaments to going into Thailand, so how did that transition happen?
First, I think, yeah. Then I actually first, I think 1 year I was in Bangalore, still training in Rock Solid Studio. Then I think uh, there was a gala fight which happened in Bangalore that time. So it was a state. I think Mysore and a couple of other states were there. So we fought there, and my coach, Guru Vikram Nagraj, I think you might have heard of him. So that was my very first fight. My dad introduced himself to the coach, and like he just wanted to know because their team was really strong then. Like real Muay Thai was like you could see the proper fighting how it goes rather than brawling, rather than the art. They were really going good with it. So my dad just took in numbers and stuff like that. Then I think after this gala fight, I think that was like 1 year later. Then I shifted to Mysore. My dad was like keen to go there, so I just started off in Mysore. Like I stayed there for 3 years. So there I fought my major nationals, state. So I fought a lot of fights out of AMS. That's Academy of Martial Arts. Yeah.
So when how did you return and come like discover ICSA, Monkey Mayhem, and everything?
In this transition, like I think my fourth trip back to India, like I really wanted to explore because I couldn't stay in one place and train. I just wanted to explore, train with new people because it does make my reflexes and know people, get a circle, people who are all like-minded. We all need those kind of support to know and grow the sport. We have to go connect. So then after that, I went to Monkey Man for like I think 7 days was my first time when I went there. It was a beautiful time I spent there. Nice fish that I can't say. Beautiful fish. Then we trained hard. So yeah, that was the first time I went into Monkey Man. Then I think right after that I didn't have a place in Bangalore to train. So then I joined into ICSA and I started off there.
Awesome, awesome. So, like, you have fought multiple times in Thailand. You also fought in many big promotions. So, how was that experience like? And what was it like to first go into Thailand and fight there?
Okay, so the very first Thailand trip was in Chiang Mai. So I went there. That was the very first trip I went into, and this gym was very simple. And there's nothing, we don't have separate rooms to stay. I had to stay with the trainers. So and then the gym is right beside my bed, so I can just wake up, start training. We start off with a run, and that trip, it was a pure normal gym where they make sure you do a lot of repetitions. So there, and they made us do a lot of runs of 14 kilometers, like long hill runs. There's a hill in Chiang Mai. I've forgotten the name. Sorry. So there, at least twice a week. So that was a really intense training, but thank God I had done training in Mysore, so I could, pace up here and level up, or else it would have been a disaster. And if you're anyone going to Thailand and if you guys are going for a like proper camp, I suggest you train for a month here in Bangalore or wherever you're staying. Make sure your cardio is good, and then you go into Thailand, because that is where you can, absorb a lot of stuff what they teach you. Because if your cardio is not good, then you can't absorb. But yeah, it's a different level of training when once you're in real shape and training there.
What was the fights like there? Like, you won big as well. So, how's the fights and fight experience like?
I can't say it in words because it's a different ambience, people there, and the preparation, the how you get inside the ring. It's a total different feel. You can't explain it, but you have to feel it when you're in the ring, or when you're around the ring. There, it's like really amazing, because I've been to like a lot of famous stadiums there, like seen fights, and it's like fighting in a ring like that is amazing. Especially Max Muay Thai was like insane. It was like I always dreamt of fighting in Max Muay Thai. Like, I'm not joking. I was like literally manifesting that one day, I could fight in Max Muay Thai one day. I never thought it'd be so fast. Like, yeah, I think in like 6 months I got to fight in Max Muay Thai, my very first fight. I was like really mind blown. Because you if you really want to train and you want to fight somewhere, like you get, like you create that ambience and you literally go into that path.
It works. The manifestation works actually.
And then like once you're in the ring, yes, definitely. But yeah, there's a lot of things which goes on in the process, but I think that process is what makes us a fighter, or people who really want to do something.
So you have traveled till now. So what are the major challenges that you face so far, like in your career?
Major challenges is like after coming back from Thailand, like we need a lot of Muay Thai going on in India. I really believe, because even if it's for MMA, like it is really advanced striking, because you can use a lot of limbs, and you can fight. I think that kind of training is much more needed in India now. I think guys like us who like get the name here will definitely help the people know there's a really much good striking level where you can really improve all around your game, not rather just striking, but in an MMA game. I think there's a level of striking in Muay Thai is needed in our game right now, because as you know, there's a lot of shabby fights going. Shabby as in, no, it's just brawling. There's no technique sometimes. We need a lot of art to be put inside this game. So that is one thing. But I think as of now, Muay Thai has been sanctioned to the IOS, like IOF. Am I right?
IOC,
The
IOC,
Olympic
Olympicum,
IOC.
IOC,
So yeah. Yes, it's been. I think not just Muay Thai, kickboxing,
kickboxing
Sanda, and
also.
couple
Yes,
more games.
kickboxing and
Yes.
sambo. Yes.
Yeah, I think this is the time where people really push athletes to move forward, because as of now we've seen in Muay Thai there be not many experienced fighters are there, except for like Anil Mehta, Ashish, and Abhimanyu Thakur, Bala Shetty sir. A lot of guys are there. But if now we start creating this team, and we make sure we fight in Olympics and stuff like that, I think it will be really, really amazing.
Regarding your recent title win, so could you just walk us through the camp, the actual fight, and the post celebrations of the WBC India title fight?
There was a long journey because the fight was actually first dated on April, I think 25th. Was Am I right? 25th.
Yes, it was supposed to happen on
Yeah, that
yeah.
was the fight day. Yeah, like I had been training for like 4 months. Like I was in Bangalore for like 1.5 months. Then I came back to Bangalore. Like 1.5 months, I trained here in Bangalore. I was like ready to go for the ring after a long time. Then the second lockdown happened. Then I had to train again. It lasted long, but yeah, everything paid off.
Now you have captured the title. So what's the future plan in terms of the title defenses and Muay Thai in general?
Okay. Title defense. I don't know. I can't. I don't know what to say because I'm ready to fight anyone for the in the Muay Thai title, WBC 63.5. I'm ready to fight anyone. Please do come fight because it's it's an experience for me too, an experience for you guys too.
You also have a kickboxing fight coming up. So can you just give us an update because I understand there are some glitches there. So could you just give us an update on that as well?
Right after the, I think, who is that? Yeah, after the WBC fight, like I was like, ICSA was like, Jitesh sir was like, just there's a fight coming up in Malayuta. I wanted to fight for the main event. I was like, cool. Because I was in training, I didn't because the fight got over pretty soon. But yeah, then I was ready for a fight. But then the small injury is up in my ankle now. While training, I kicked, so that is one problem now.
So now before we close, like if someone wants to come into Muay Thai, like what advice would you give to them?
Career as in like right now, like for Muay Thai, I think we need a proper gym, like a proper Muay Thai gym where people can really camp like a Muay Thai gym because like what I've seen in Thailand is people come into a gym and they don't leave the gym. They just stay there, train in the morning, eat, sleep, repeat the same thing in the evening. And it's a long procedure. Like if we adapt it in a real way, I think it'll help all the guys, like, people who really want to fight, may keep them in really good shape because it's one environment. There are a lot of people there. You have the motivation to train, a lot of techniques going in. It's an ambience where you create with the like-minded people and you can work on yourself too and with others.
Surya, thank you for your time. So, uh,
Yeah.
and I hope that your injury recovers fast and that you'll be in action soon. So, looking forward
No,
to
I
seeing
want
you
to
in
make
action.
sure I'm back as soon as possible because if I leave it now, it's never because if there is any other thing coming up in the next couple of months, like a third wave or anything,
Huh.
it's gonna be a huge problem because not just me, a lot of fighters can't fight or a lot of people can't do anything. So
Hmm.
yeah, I just want to make sure I fight as many as possible in these coming months. I forgot to show you the belt.
It's nice. It's so shiny. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I have to make sure I keep it for a very long time. That's my main goal.
So see you soon, Surya.